Hello, good people. I hope you're all having a blessed and wonderful life. I want to show off my turquoise collection. These are all handmade by true artisans, and this is everything I own in turquoise for my Western wear. And I have videos on my cowboy boots, Stetson cowboy hats, and all kinds of good stuff. Um, Western belts. I have 4 exotic skin boots. But yeah, these were all handmade um, by one of the best in the business, a guy up in Colorado where I lived at, a place called Hugo, Colorado. And I'm going to give you just a look at all of these kind of together. And then we'll go over them one by one. And I'll really show you how the workmanship that goes in. These are all, of course, real silver, real turquoise, real red coral. Okay, and let's go over them one by one. Some of them were custom made just for me, 2 pieces here. And then almost all of the work here is done by one person. It's a guy up in Colorado, like I said, Hugo, Colorado. It's in the Lyman, Colorado area, about 2 hours east of Denver, Colorado, and 2 hours east of Colorado Springs. It's about an hour from the Kansas border. This gentleman, he was a game warden on the western side of Colorado. And he worked there for several years, and every now and again they would get black bears that would be put down because they kept coming into town. They would capture them, release them back into the wild, but some of them wouldn't stay in the wild. So the ones that they put down, the black bear, he collected the claws, and he also, so that he could make the turquoise later, he went down to Arizona and New Mexico and actually learned from several Indians down there on how to make the turquoise in the traditional styles. So I would say all of these pieces except for 2 of them were made by him, and I'll point out which ones they were. All right, guys, let's take a closer look here. All right, I'm going to start with this one. This one is one of my favorite pieces. This one was done for me. I sat down with the gentleman that was the game warden that I talked about. And this is his stamp. It's actually a deer hoof. That's his sign, because all of the true real turquoise has the maker's stamp in there. So this is all one-piece silver. You can kind of see it there. And the 2 bear claws, black bear claws, and then you have the nice big piece of turquoise right there in the middle. Okay, and then the red coral, and then the beautiful, beautiful designs there with the cactus flowers again, and then you got the brushed aluminum there, or silver, excuse me, there, and the nice silver beads done. I mean, you look at this, you look at the detail here where he creased it, and just the artistry. This one cost me $300, and I had it built, probably had it made for me probably in about 2007. And I'm telling you what, if you tried to go and find this, especially if you're traveling through New Mexico or Arizona, by today's standards, this thing would be well over probably a couple $1,000s, I would guess. There's a lot of silver in there, and I'll show you what it looks like on. All right, guys, that's what it looks like on my wrist. Kind of give you an idea of how wide it is. Really comfortable, easy to get on and off, but really one of my favorite pieces. All of these I really, really like, but this one, being handmade for me, really a special. He took about 6 weeks to make this for me. So this isn't just something you throw together. So hope you enjoy that. Let's go on to the next piece. All right, this was made by the same gentleman, the game warden. And look how beautiful that is. That is a piece of walrus tusk, ivory, the polar bear. That, you can see the grains in there. Now, sometimes they can even take plastic and fake these out, but I've showed this to several people that are very knowledgeable on bone, because that's what ivory is a bone. Now, this was collected many, many years ago. Like, this guy was in this game warden before he was a game warden. He was in the Army when he was just a young man. And I don't even know if this gentleman is still alive today. But he handmade this belt for himself. But let me get back to the ivory. He was stationed in Alaska for a couple of years in the Army when he was a young man. And he would probably be in his 80s now. So this is when he was in his 20s. And he bought this from an Eskimo that actually chinsawed it, or, made it. And he bought just the ivory from the guy, thinking that he wanted to get into turquoise and silver making. And you can see it's got the nice indigo ink in here. And he thought he would go ahead and get this ivory and make something out of it. And it took him years and years after he got out of the Army, after he was a game warden, then after he went down to learn how to do the turquoise. And he actually made this belt buckle for himself. And I found it in a gift shop that he was selling it on consignment for $175. Again, this would have been in the 2006, 2007 era, and of course we're in 2020 now. And he went ahead and did this one for himself, and he never wore it. There's his deer hoof mark right there, and he never wore it, so he decided to sell it. $175, brand new. He hardly ever wore this thing. Again, one of my prized possessions. You got the two black bear claws on each end. You got the turquoise, you got the cactus flowers, you got the leaves. Just beautiful. Now, this one doesn't have any red coral, but it's very classic. Hooked to your Western belt right here. So this one is the real deal. Real walrus tusk. And again, this is before the ivory restrictions. This was no telling how old it was when the Eskimo got a hold of it. And that's not just a story. This comes from a very reliable source. And again, if you were going to go find this in any kind of a store, I've seen them with the little piece of turquoise here, couple red corals on each side, $1,000. Maybe a bear claw, one bear claw. You look at this. This is several $1,000s. This is a one of a kind. I wouldn't even, this one's not for sale. None of my turquoise is for sale. This is all for me. All right, guys, let's move on to the next piece. Gonna get to one more. This one was actually made for me. This is the last piece the gentleman did, and then he said he actually had retired from making any kind of turquoise and silver, but back in about 2013, maybe 2014, I had been away from Colorado since 2010 for like 4 years. I called him up and asked him if he would make this for me. And he said no, that he didn't want to make it, that he was out of the business. And he said, if I were to make it, what style would you want? And I told him the nice oval turquoise in the middle with the red coral going around. He said red coral's really hard to find. But anyway, he called me a week later and he said, if you want it, I made it for you. He said, but if you don't want it, I'm going to keep it for myself. Of course, I told him I would take it. And this is his last known piece that he made, and it was just for me, a nice bolo tie. And I think I paid about, this is the most I paid for anything, $375. But for everything else I got at such a bargain, I was happy to get this one. And this is a beautiful, beautiful bolo tie when you wear a nice Western shirt and your cowboy boots. All right, guys, I'm going to go on to another one that he made. And this is the last piece here that he made, but this is a nice turquoise ring, just a simple design. You can see with the circles there, the beadwork, and that. Let's go ahead and I'll put this on for you. And that's what it looks like on my hand. Really nice, really classy piece of turquoise with the beads, with the circles going around, the beadwork going around. Just a really, really nice design. Let's move on to the next piece. All right, guys, here's the next piece. Now, these next pieces he did not make. He purchased these when he was down in New Mexico and Arizona area many years ago when he was still a young man. But it's really nice. It has the eagle head on it there. And then you got the red coral and the turquoise. So he did not, like I said, make this one, but he liked it enough to purchase it. I got this out of the gift shop before I ever met him. And we started making our own pieces. Let's try this on. And there you go, guys. That's what it looks like on my finger. And again, with turquoise, it's nice and big and bold. It's Indian. It's just beautiful. Let's move on to the next pieces. All right, this one is actually for a necklace, and I bought this silver chain for this just by itself to go on there. And this has the beautiful bear claw. Again, he did not make this one himself. He purchased it, I believe, from the same Indian that made the other one. But I can't even remember what I paid for this, probably 150 bucks. But the red coral, the turquoise, you got even the detail of the red coral here. The nice bear claw, black bear claw, that's traditional. And you can see all the leaves and the workmanship. And this one, he got down in New Mexico or Arizona, like I said, and he had another one that was for sale that had where the red coral is, it was turquoise, and where the turquoise is, it was red coral, so it was the opposite of this one. Man, I wished I would have bought it, but I didn't. I didn't realize how rare this all was going to be and how hard it is to get quality turquoise. But yeah, if you're wearing a nice Western shirt or you're just out and about, and then you got this nice, and this is a real silver necklace that I bought, or chain that I bought just for that. And I just take the cross off and put it on there. But yeah, I'll give you one more look, guys. Hope you really like the video. You don't see a lot of nice turquoise on YouTube, so I just kind of wanted to show you what it looked like. I'm going to show you what this looks like on a belt. All right, guys, this is what that looks like on a belt. This is my python belt, and look how nice that's going to line up, going all the way around there like that. All leather belt, real beautiful, goes with my python boots. But there you go with that nice python there. Get a little bit different view of it. There you go, guys. Got one more belt I'll show you with this on it. And then this is what it looks like with the chocolate brown caiman belly. All authentic, all real, everything here. And then I have the honey caiman belly. You could also have it with that as well. Then I'll just show you a little bit of each one again. Give you a different view there. The necklace. And the bolo tie. See how nice that would look all together. Then the two rings. And then the necklace to go with that. And then you can kind of get an idea of how nice that would all look. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, check out some of my other videos on my cowboy boots, my belts, on feet and off feet review. Thanks for watching, guys.